Welcome to the Cavan Community and Culture Show, where we'll be bringing you all that's happening in Cavan events, arts, culture and heritage. My name is Grace McKernan, and later in the show we'll be talking all things Heritage Week with the County Museum. We'll also be talking to the guys from the Cootehill Arts Festival. But first up, I sat down to have a chat with the ladies of the Belturbet Festival of the Erne and Erica's Fairy Forest to talk about this year's event. I'm joined in the studio today by Roisin and Catherine from the Belturbet Festival of the Erne and Kate from Erica's Fairy Forest. Hello girls, how are you doing?
How are you?
All right. The festival celebrated 42 years this year as Ireland's longest running family festival. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the festival then through the decades up to the current day?
This is our first year joining the festival, but I suppose it has been going on for 42 years, and it was always connected with the Lady of the Erne. So that hasn't actually happened in the last few years, but
it's kind of scaled back. It used to span over an entire week or 10 days, but now it's just focused over the August Bank Holiday weekend.
Yeah, and I suppose years ago it was a massive festival, and my grandfather used to actually be quite involved in it as well, so that kind of gave me the pull to try and help revive the festival this year, because it started to kind of definitely scale back, but thank God now this year it was a great success, and we're happy with the turnout, and it has been revived.
Yeah. And you said about your grandfather being involved, and that's how you started to get involved.
Yeah,
in the
I remember
festival.
him being. He used to be very much involved in the Lady of the Erne. He was a judge, and then he was chairperson and secretary on the committee of the Festival of the Erne. So he loved being involved in community and the choir, and
was that like your inspiration to get involved?
Definitely,
as well?
yeah, it was great.
It's quite generational, and even at our final meeting last night we were talking about past chairmen that have even passed away since, and you can see how families have kind of taken
really
over, and friends and neighbours, and it's very generational because it's been around for so long.
And how did you yourself get involved then, Catherine?
Roisin made me do it.
I signed her up. She didn't
I'll
actually
be honest,
know.
I didn't get the call. I was made do it. I know. There was that element of it. We were approached by Francie Cahill, who was the chairman for this year, and he just asked us if we'd be interested in organising, and there had been a poor turnout, so we didn't really think we would even be as involved as we became. We just came on board and said, we'll organise whatever you want. Then all of a sudden we're on the committee, we're doing ideas, we're doing events, and it just spanned from there. Yeah.
It was great though, it was very exciting, and I suppose everybody was saying it was good to get fresh blood on the committee, and fresh ideas and stuff, so
crazy ideas.
I think we kind of like doing this kind of stuff. We've done stuff in the past, so
we went in and
it was great to get away from the kids, from the meetings and stuff, just running out of that. It's fine, we have a meeting. Sorry, Ruby.
So this year's festival drew big crowds. How did you guys feel it went, and how was the response?
We organised this festival along the whole committee organised it within 4 weeks, along with a big fundraiser. So it was just phenomenal, how the numbers turned out. We got the brochure out, we got
it's a very short
promotion, we got money in, everything was done so quickly, and everything, thank God, touch wood, went off. There was no injuries. Everybody made it through, so it was good. High five.
Yeah, the first week we got involved, and we realised there was so much stuff to do. It was scary, but people said, even though it was a small committee, everybody just did what they were supposed to do, got on with it.
Yeah.
Roisin took over the part of secretary, and she used to leave meetings with lists as long as this, and she'd just do it, and that's what people said even in the feedback, just get on with it, do what needs to be done. That's the only way it's going to happen. I suppose
it was probably good that there was only a small time frame, because we knew we just had to get it done to make it happen, And if it had been any longer, you know, you kind of put things in the long finger, and maybe
Yeah.
they just don't go the same way. But definitely wouldn't do that again. Too
Take more time next
stressful.
year,
Yeah. So no, definitely we're very happy, and you know, the turnout and each of the events, you know, ran smoothly, and it was great.
Great stuff. There's a great mix of entertainment at the festival, from a kind of more adult themed ladies' night all the way down to like kids' games and competitions. Do you make a point of having a mixture of activities for all different ages?
Definitely. I think during the day, you know, has to be family orientated in that kind of festival. And I suppose in the Monday we had a lot of stuff that was based around the river, and the river in Belturbet is our biggest asset, and we don't use it as much as we should do. And it was great to see all the families out. Like at the end of the day, the nights make themselves, you know, the pubs have their entertainment, people come out for that, you know, if there's late bars and stuff. So during the day it's so important to, you know, get the families out. The kids make festivals, they definitely do. So
Like over the years, I think it lost its way slightly that way. They were kind of maybe tailoring it. We used to have this big fancy dress, and it was all like on the street, and it was very tailored to the younger crowd and stuff like that. And somebody said this year that it was nice to see it come back to being more family oriented, like Roisin said there. Like, so during the day it was all family fun activities, and then at night, you know, the parents can go out, or you know, the younger generation can go out and enjoy themselves. There's lots on the pubs and entertainment, and families felt safer about bringing their children into town for the different activities during the day and stuff like that. So for me, that's what I learned from it. It's better to make it more family oriented.
I suppose when we have
all age groups,
we have our kids as well, we know what we kind of want to get out of a festival, so maybe we had that in our heads as well, and we made that happen. So yeah.
Well, speaking of kids being involved, one of the highlights of the festival was the children's fairies and farmer tractor run that was on the Sunday. And all the proceeds of that went to Erica's Fairy Forest in Cootehill. We have Kate here from Erica's Fairy Forest. Could you tell us a little bit about Erica's and how it came to be involved in the festival?
The Fairy Forest came about last October on Erica's birthday. Erica lost her battle with cancer in August last year. And she had a really strong belief in everything magical, fairy, princess. So along with her mum and dad, Kieran and Natasha, and her aunts, uncles and friends, they set up through Cootehill Area Development a fairy forest out at Halton's Amenity Park in Cootehill, just opposite Abbott's on the Monaghan Road. And it's like every little girl and boy's dream come true. It's like a little fairy village, and we've had visitors from all over the country come to visit it. It's very popular, and like it's not just for children, adults as well like to go out and visit it. And you know, it's very calm, serene, quiet, yet it's at the side of a busy road. It's a magical place. So it's lovely, and it was really nice for Roisin, who's married to my cousin Gareth.
Okay.
And that's how Roisin asked, would we mind if, you know, the proceeds went, and we were delighted because, you know, every little bit helps to keep the magic alive in the forest. So it was great, it was brilliant.
And how has the response from the local kind of area been to Erica's?
Oh, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We have almost 8,000 followers on our Facebook page, Instagram, Snapchat, and like we're on TripAdvisor, and you know, no matter where we go, when we say where we're from, everybody would say, you know, oh, that's where the fairy forest is. So yeah, it's very well known, and it's a beautiful place.
And how do kids react when they go in? Like, how do kids enjoy it?
Well, on the approach there's a path up into it with little signs, you know, Erica's, and they're quiet, and then it's first greeting is Mickey Mouse. He's a magic Mickey Mouse, he's massive. He greets you, and then there's an entrance in with all the little doors and little features, and they get really excited, and then they get really quiet, and then they get excited again. So it's every emotion kids possibly can give. But yeah,
sounds like
it's
a
really
magical
good.
place.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So the water in the River Erne is a very important feature in the festival, because there's a flotilla and there's loads of water sports and fly fishing competition and everything. And how significant is the Erne to Belturbet, and was it important to show this through the festival?
Definitely. I don't think we utilise it half as much as we should. Hopefully now we'll stay on the committee for this year, and we're aiming to use it next year. Monday was our river-based activities. We had canoeing, the flotilla, we had rowboat racing, we had the sketch jamboree down by the river, we had a family fun day. Like, we have Morrissey Park there, that we could use to, it was just really, it kind of ran itself as well, because the river's there, and we have all those amenities. Like, we have Tommy McMahon as the rowboat club, and Sean Thornton, he's the canoe club as well. So he was over, and the kids were out in the river, and just it drew families
on a good day. It's so
fabulous. Yeah, there was a little bit of drizzle, but it didn't turn people off. And we definitely hope to play on that next year. Make it bigger,
make it more about the air, like as you say, Festival of the Air. And
that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, great stuff. There was a lot of non-locals, you were telling me before, who visited the festival this year. What do you think would draw crowds from outside Cavan to come to the Belturbet Festival?
Something big like that, I suppose. Again,
tractor
if we come up with
really
ideas
good.
on the river, and then the tractor run
really
was
did.
just pure. I just kind of had a thought. My friend was sending me Snapchats of their kids on tractors down the country on a family holiday, and I was like, wherever you bring them, they still play with the same toys. So, and it just was like, they do the vintage tractor runs, why not do the kids one? And you can do it for charity as well, and it was great
and
to be able to do
the fascinating
it.
thing was when we opened up registration online for that, because we wanted people to register.
To just flood it in.
Flooded in, but it was all external to the town. We thought obviously it'd be locally be excited, but it was all
there was
outside.
people coming across the border as well, like
Massively,
so from Ireland.
so the people that registered initially were all, as you said, people that weren't from the immediate area or the town, and we were blown away. And even on the day, so many people from, and I think having Eric is on board as well did that, because he gave it that promotion, and used our base in Cootehill, so it was a great way of kind of involving the county as opposed to keeping it in Belturbet. And really it did, but there was a massive response from across the border. A lot of and
I could see a lot of more people heading over to Seafair at the Ferry Forest
we did get a lot of new followers on our Facebook page following the festival, which was fantastic.
And we saw a few people, like even that we know, like putting up pictures on Facebook that were visiting it, that kind of knew it was there, but now it was kind of involved in the festival, wanted to probably go over and actually see what it was about.
Great, the more attention you can get for America's the better. Absolutely.
It's fab.
And any plans for next year?
Oh, we're tight-lipped on that.
Okay.
But we're working straight away. We've finished up this year's meetings, and
I'm emigrating.
In 2 weeks we're starting next year's, so we're well in advance of planning, and we want to make it big next year.
Yeah, if we're involved, it's all about, we want to run fundraisers throughout the year. Just, you need funds to make these events bigger and better. To plan the festival that happened in a 4-week period this year was extremely stressful, and it took its toll on people, so it's better to do a lot more forward planning, and as Roisin said, book things well in advance, and just
there was a lot of excitement at our meeting last night. Now everybody seems a bit more excited about organising new things, and again using the River Erne as well, so making the festival.
And there was a great buzz. The buzz was back, and just been great feedback. So I think that's why people want to stay involved, and more people probably would want to get involved. Because it was kind of experiencing a bit of a lull, and now it's there's a bit more excitement back now. So just have to keep that going, instead of taking a big long break and then saying, oh God, let's have a meeting in June next year.
4 weeks to do this.
From the festival this year.
And we learned a lot even from the events we ran. So even we discussed last night at the meeting what we do differently, what we need to do next year, all that kind of stuff. So it was like a trial run, for bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Great. Great stuff. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thanks
No
for
worries,
having
thanks
us.
for having us. Yeah.
For more information,